right, well, we're walking up to the top of Springer Mountain to do a SOTA activation. It's about 42 degrees here. Pretty windy, nice breeze, but it'll be a uphill for about a mile till we get set up. But the weather's actually pretty good. Here we go. That's my APRS beacon going off. I am spotting myself, but also going to try to use APRS to self-spot for the SOTA activation. There is cell phone service up here allegedly, but I'm going to try and go hardcore and go APRS spot and then QRP. See how it goes. There is a big 10-meter contest today happening. I haven't checked the band yet, but 10 meters may be off the table with QRP. I will probably end up getting stomped on and won't even be able to find a frequency, so probably end up on 20. We'll see. So, interesting tidbit, if you're not familiar with Springer Mountain, in Georgia, Springer Mountain is where the Appalachian Trail starts. So, ostensibly, if I kept walking, following the same white blaze, I'd end up in Maine when I was done. I'm not going that far. I'm only going about a mile, I think, to get to the summit, but it's pretty cool. And what's interesting too, I'm originally from New Jersey, and when I moved to Georgia, I didn't realize how it's really a lot like the Northeast as far as the terrain goes. The mountains are very similar to the Catskills in terms of elevation and the topography. And it gets pretty cold here. There's ice on the trail that I'm encountering in the northern exposures, and it's only the beginning of December, so it's not uncommon for these elevations in the mountains to get snow and for it to stay for a while, because it does get cold, especially in the shade. But I'm gonna guess that this is probably one of the most popular / frequently traveled sections of the Appalachian Trail, since it's the start, and probably the other end up at Mount Katahdin in Maine, I believe is where it ends. It's probably real popular for day trips too, so it's pretty cool. So despite riding past this trailhead 5,000 times on my adventure motorcycle, I've never actually hiked this trail, so I'm not sure what to expect up at the top as far as setup goes for antennas. So I brought with me two options for today. I brought both their Chameleon. I brought the Tactical Delta Loop, which I ran last weekend doing a POTA QRP, and it worked pretty well, and I know it works, so I'm gonna maybe run that, or if the space is limited, because that has a 26-foot wide diameter. If the space is limited, I will probably just run the Chameleon vertical, the 17.5-foot whip, and put probably one or two counterpoises out and run with that, because I know that will work too. Kind of just depends. We'll see. So this is the summit and the actual Appalachian Trail trailhead. I'm actually debating running 2 meter up here because the line of sight is insane. There's just a lot of exposure here. I can probably bang out a SOTA activation on 2 meter in 10 minutes here. HF maybe a little bit trickier, but Atlanta is straight out that way. that's basically the north up this way. So that would be like North Carolina. This is more North Carolina that way. Now you're starting to, that would be Tennessee and more kind of North Georgia over here. So I think I'm going to set up in this clearing, maybe over on this this log over here. There is because we're on the summit, the wind is just ripping across here. It's a constant breeze. So I'm going to end up probably getting pretty cold pretty quick because I did develop a little bit of a sweat, but I think I might make this home and set up the antenna over there. Should be enough room. And if I decide to go 2 meter, I brought a Slim Jim I can throw up in a tree. So we'll see. Before I unload this, the pack that I'm running today is a Mystery Ranch Scree 32. I really like this bag. I bought one of those Gigaparts Explorer radio bags, and honestly, I use it for POTA in and out of the car. The suspension on that bag is not great. It doesn't carry loads great, especially long distance. This Mystery Ranch is actually a technical backpack, so you know it's got a frame, it's got a true waist belt, so you can transfer the load. And for doing a small setup like this, everything fits in there real well. I got some water, both whips, the TX-500, and it's just enough to carry everything I need for today very comfortably. So how I'm carrying things, and the other nice thing about these Mystery Ranch Y bags, pardon me while I try and do this one-handed, they open real wide. So I've got a windbreaker, I've got a puffy, I got my lunch, I brought a hat and gloves, throw bag, and the beautiful thing about this TX-500, this is my entire TX-500 setup. It's a shaving kit that I bought at TJ Maxx, believe it or not. I've got the tuner, ATU-10, the TX-500, all the cables, antenna. Pretty much everything in this bag is ready to deploy. And then the only other thing that I have that's extra is this other pouch, some Home Depot zipper pouch, and this is just the Chameleon parts. It's the transformer and the counterpoise wires and the TDL doohickey, and I did shove the good old stake in the bag. Always this side down, so when it's bouncing, the point doesn't poke through your bag. So unlike some guys that I see being able to push this stake into the ground because they live in Florida, that's not the case where I live. I bought this tent stake hammer on Temu. This thing is pure Chinesium. I think it was $8, but it's awesome. It's very lightweight, but it's able to drive in the stake no problem. $8 is way better than the hammer that I was carrying around with me that weighed a lot. All right, so I've got the TDL set up over there. I got lucky. I didn't think of how long my my antenna cable was. It just makes it to this little spot. So God was smiling on me for that. I'm going to set up the radio now, and I have 3D printers like probably a lot of you guys do. And one of the cool things about buying a new toy is just going on Thingiverse right away and seeing like what's out there. So for the TX-500, I've got a 3D printed case. I've got these TPU covers there for the ports. I printed this little stand last night, and I had to. It's actually designed to hold the battery, which I don't have, and I didn't have any wing nuts, so I just designed those little knobs last night very quickly. To make it work for today. And then I'm actually designing a storage box to replace this, and the storage box will fit here and hold all of my BNC adapters and cables and things like that. The other thing that I did, I made a little cheat sheet for myself to help me remember certain things. The frequency, you know, where the SSB starts and stops. I have limited bandwidth in my brain to remember this. So I just wrote it down, and the cool thing is that I laminated it, and then when you set it up, it just flips down in front of the radio kind of as a quick reference card. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'll probably do another version of that, but anyway, neat stuff. All right, so I'm set up here. That's an RC car battery, a 3S battery. I had one laying around. It's pretty cool. Just put power poles on it. It's great. As suspected, the issue with QRP on a Saturday like this is the 20 meters is just crammed, and I literally cannot find one frequency clear where anybody can hear me, that people aren't talking or I'm not picking up transient noise. It gets very frustrating because I can't blast out on top of it. I've called CQ for a little bit. I thought I was on a clear frequency, only to find out that I'm not. So I'm going to try another frequency and see what happens. But hey, at least the setup's nice. Okay, it's cold, it's windy. I've been calling CQ for SOTA for 15 or 20 minutes and nothing. There's just so much activity on the bands that I can't get over. I can't even find a spot, let alone talk over anybody. There's just a ton of noise. I have made some POTA contacts hunting, but it's kind of mayhem. So far, I've made 2 good contacts, Pennsylvania and Michigan, so I'm getting out. It's just very frustrating to be running, you know, QRP and not being able to have anybody hear you. SOTA too is such a, it's like the stepchild, I think, of POTA. Nobody really goes online and looks for spots, so it makes it that much harder. It's organic, people listening to CQs, but I'm trying, so. KQ4 YFG QRP. Story of my life. KQ4 YFG QRP. All right, so this guy's in Maine. Kilowatt 4 Yankee Foxtrot Golf QRP. I even messed up my call sign. Kilo Quebec 4 Yankee Foxtrot Golf QRP. Kilo Quebec 4 Yankee Foxtrot Golf QSL. QSL, yeah, that's great for QRP. You're a 5x3 here into Georgia. Loud and clear. Thanks for activating today. Have a great day, 73. So there you go. I just hit Maine. I don't know. I can't figure this out some days. Nobody can hear me. I think it's honestly because I put a poll up on the POTA Facebook group this week about how people find activators, and so many people said they just go to the website and find frequencies. So if I'm doing SOTA, nobody's on that website. It's very low traffic, first of all, but you know, just coming out here and calling CQ, it's tough. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try and find some bandwidth here. But you can kind of see there's just activity everywhere. I actually had to turn the preamp off on it. If I turn the preamp on, there's activity everywhere. I can't even find a good slice, so it's very hard. Maybe somebody can give me some tips. All right, now I'm getting some traction. CQ, KQ4, YFG calling a CQ for Summits on the air. CQ, and standing by. Hello CQ, hello CQ, KQ4 YFG calling CQ for SOTA. Summit's on the air. CQ, CQ, and standing by. Hello CQ, hello CQ, CQ. Summit's on the air. SOTA, KQ4 YFG calling CQ for Summit's on the air and listening. Go ahead with that call sign again, please. Can you repeat your call sign, please? QSL, QSL. Yeah, I've got you 5-7 here into Georgia, Springer Mountain, doing a SOTA activation. QSL?
Absolutely. They were 20 meters. Probably only 6-7 miles.
Repeat that. Somebody's tuning up.
Yeah, a lot of QSP there. I'm very close to you. Very close to Springer Mountain there. Probably 6-7 miles. Just wanted to say hello there.
KO4MCQ, thanks for the contact today. And if you have a chance, if you can spot me on the SOTA website, that would be fantastic. I would appreciate it.
Roger, Roger. This on a 3x3. 3x3. Very close. Very close to you there. Anyway, I wish you the best. 73. God bless. Hope you make a lot of contact. KO4MCQ, I'll be clear.
Thanks for the contact today, 73. QRZ. All right, I've actually satisfied the requirement to activate this location. I've got 6 in the log, but I'm gonna keep going, and I may switch to VHF and see if I can get some VHF contacts. But it's always good to push through when it sucks and then make it work. Okay, so I've got enough contacts safely to say that I activated. I made a change, and I'm going to go to the 17-foot vertical, straight up. I have a 25-foot counterpoise wire going out here. I actually forgot my other counterpoise wire at home, but I know one will work, and I should have more radials. I'm trying to figure that part out. But I'm going to jump back onto 20 meters. If the frequency I had is still available, I'm gonna jump on and see if I can't get a couple of more contacts like this and see what happens. So let's see. So a really cool thing just happened. I changed the antenna to vertical. I got a Ontario contact, I got New Jersey, and I just had a guy, he's so thrilled, it was his first SOTA contact ever, and he's been trying for years, he said, so that's pretty cool. So I'm kind of reinvigorated. So one thing I said to myself I was going to do today that I didn't do was use APRS to spot myself. I don't use APRS a lot. I do have cell service up here, and my phone won't let me spot myself on SOTA. So I should have tried APRS. I couldn't remember how to do the message formatting. So I just did everything through CQs. And I don't think anybody spotted me on the internet despite me asking them to. So it's the old-fashioned way, I suppose, but so far so good. Well, when I'm using my TX-500 over here, I quickly learned to love the voice recorder function in my 7300. CQ, 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 KQ4 YFG calling CQ for SOTA. Summit's on the air. Springer Mountain, Georgia. CQ, CQ. Summit's on the air. I've probably said that 5,000 times already. No pileups. Okay, I called CQ for, I don't know, about another 10 minutes, and it's really cold and it's windy, and I didn't get a lot of traction. I've got enough in the book to call it a success, but I know if I throw up my Slim Jim and fire up some VHF. I'll get 3 more to get me to 10, just to give me a special number. SOTA only requires 4 to activate a location, but in the spirit of POTA, I'll try to get 10. I'm one away. Give me a minute. I'm going to set up. All right. So even though I'm at a pretty high point, I still threw the old Slim Jim up in the tree. Kind of a quick job, but I bet you I'll be able to get some VHF contacts pretty quick. We're right outside Metro Atlanta, so even with this little HT 5 watts, we should hit something. So let's see. CQ, KQ4 YFG calling CQ for summits on the air. SOTA, CQ. CQ, KQ4 YFG calling CQ for summits on the air. Okay, well, I'm packed up. I'm heading back down the mountain. The VHF, I got about 4 or 5 contacts on VHF, but I'm not gonna lie. It's really cold, it's very windy, and the elements got the best of me. I got enough contacts to call the day a success. I got out into the fresh air, got to play with my toys, and yeah, it was a good day. So anyway, hopefully this video didn't bore you to death. I'm no YouTuber, but I know that sometimes it's cool to see someone else doing what you do, and maybe you pick up a thing or two. I'm a new guy, and I've learned a lot from just watching other people. So anyway, I'm real happy to have found this hobby and to be part of the community, and thanks for watching. KQ4 YFG 73.